Generally, every morning I wake up really early, and so I see a lot of these videos that were posted either last night or kind of early in the morning from different parts of the world or the East Coast or whatnot. Um, and I guess we're getting the update on Chantel's visit to the doctor, which the first one I watched was pretty angry and gross. There's only so much I can take of that. Like, if I'm going to follow a story, and yes, there is some disdain involved with the fact that the person's not really helping themselves, right? That's one thing, but some of these React channels kind of take some pot shots that I think are unnecessary. But let me bring you up to speed because I don't know what Shakara is gonna, which parts she's gonna cover. There was a doctor's visit. Chantel did a live stream, I guess, stating that she's gonna try and go a month without actually taking medication and see if she can handle this through diet, which she's already proved that she does not have the self-control to do it that way. But then apparently she has done something else. I don't know if it was just written in a comment or if she actually live streamed it or just like video blogged it, right? That she's going to take it for a week and the medication and then go for a follow-up. So let's see what this update is.
See kind of weather because it's getting cold now. So I have what is this? This is salted. This is a black tea, but it's salted caramel. It's so good. Tastes like dessert.
I'll be real. The kind of the rambling as filler to make it transformational can get a little irritating. And this is not the only live streamer that does this. I try and, when I'm adding things, I try and make them at least relatable to the story that we're watching, but that's just me. I'm not saying my style's any better, but obviously we do have to make the videos transformational in order to share them this way. But half of the time I really don't care about like what's going on with your cats, what's going on with your dogs, what's going on at the gym, what's going on with the coffee you're drinking or tea, whatever it is. I'm not really interested in all that bullshit. It would be nice if we could stick to the story, add commentary to the story, and, get in, get out, right?
So let me share the screen. That's not sharing the screen, that's the wrong button. Share the screen. Share this screen with the audio. Okay, so because I'm going from my laptop, let's do a little trial run.
Hello, how are you?
Oh,
hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back.
We're pushing the wrong buttons. If you're not watching Treeboy Ilya or Alex is Shook, which I'm sure most of you watch Alex is Shook, but if you don't watch Treeboy Ilya, go and check him out. He's funny.
Alex is one of the ones that sometimes I think, unless there's like other dudes online that have like the same style of voice as him, he's one of the ones that seems a little petty, a little catty, a little gossipy when he's covering the story. So does Jordy, to be real. I mean, let's just jump into it because like I don't need all the backstory on like her sexual history, her previous partners, shit like that, or how everybody thinks that her marriage is a sham. I mean, it probably is, but like I don't think that is really as important as how she could be a huge success story. No pun intended. But if she was able to actually get herself to a healthy body weight, she would be an internet star for real.
He's really funny. I like him a lot. He does like bingos and stuff like that. In fact, let me oh, is it loading? What's it doing? Ali. So let's see if it works.
Hey there, abusers. Want a personalized video from me to you that you can keep forever? Or maybe a special shout out.
And also a thumbs up if you can hear the audio, because I've not done this from here before, so I'm not sure if the audio works properly. Alex and Ilya making guest appearances. Yeah, by accident. Do you know what? I love listening to live streams when I'm doing cleaning and stuff like that, because it's just like I can put it on the background and listen to it. Everything's good to go. But yeah, definitely, if you haven't checked out Treeboy Ilya, for sure do so. And Alex, I'm sure most of you watch Alex. But yeah, if you haven't, check him out too.
Or maybe you just have a pressing question for me you want answered. All you have to do is request a personalized video or direct message from me on Cameo. It's super easy. Cameos also make great birthday or special occasion gifts.
No, she didn't only just get diabetes. She was diagnosed with diabetes a couple of years ago, and then it magically disappeared. -6 in Sweden. Yeah, I can believe it.
Hope to hear from you. Bye.
Bye.
I find her choice of music so bizarre. She has these sit-down videos, these very serious videos, and then the background music is like super happy, super cheery. It's just weird.
She either owns this music or found it on public domain, because she plays it on every single video.
I just don't get it. Like, what? This is not a happy situation, isn't it? You know, you're going to the doctor to see, like, whether you're dying or not. Like, why the happy background music? Normally speaking, when you go to the hospital to get tested, I'm really surprised that she's drinking water now to pee in a cup. Normally speaking, they want your morning urine, and what you have to do, if you're gonna get like your urine tested, you pee like a little bit, and then like the middle pee is where you collect, and that's where you give off. So I don't know how long she could have just woken up, to be fair. Chantal, and it could be any time of the day. She could have just woken up. But it's weird that she's, no. Like, most people, when they wake up, they pee. Like,
I don't think so. I mean, there have been times when I've had to go in and give a urine sample, and I needed a little extra hydration before I peed in the cup. I don't find this unusual at all. And there's not... I don't recall a single doctor asking me for my midstream. They basically just want to make sure the cup doesn't touch my skin so it doesn't get skin cells in it.
That's like the first thing you do, right? When you wake up, is have a pee. Well, I do anyway. So this is automatically not necessarily going to give the correct readings, because this is not her fasted pee. This is a pee.
You're not going to get blood sugar from urine. You get blood sugar reading from a blood draw.
You know, like maybe her second or third pee of the day. So this is weird. I don't understand why they didn't get her to do it before. I suppose maybe they didn't tell her because she didn't go to a doctor before until now. But normally that's what you do. That's called a clean urine sample. Yeah. Oh, hold on. My friend is a nurse, and she said a glucose level of 400 plus. You can have a diabetic shock at any time. That's really scary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's oddly jolly about all of this. It is very bizarre. Formative doctor, classic bar, so classy. I wonder what everybody thinks why she's not taking her health so serious. I was just watching a video of yours from 32 years ago. There's a lot of content out there for sure. I upload a lot of videos, so you have hours, days, weeks to keep yourself busy if you ever get bored. Yeah, this is not cute though. I don't understand why she's being like all like so funny and cutesy about it. It's not funny. It's not cute. This is really serious, you know.
Yeah, but sometimes when people are trying to cope with the fact that they have a serious problem, they try and laugh it off, right? That's not unusual.
I can't even imagine how she manages to pee in the jar. Hold on, let me just my mouse. I think this is probably why she's sad about it, because not being mean, but the actual logistics of how far down her belly reaches, I don't think she can.
I'm sure her husband helped her with this. And what a trooper. Good for you, Salal.
I reckon she probably pees in like a pan or something else, and then she has to pour it into the cup. Because like even for myself, I'm fairly able-bodied.
No, you can't do it that way, because then it's going to end up contaminated. It has to go directly into the cup. So she would have to have her husband help her with this task. And this might be one of the reasons that she's put this off for so long, is because prior to being married, she might not have had somebody who would actually help her with this.
And I'm very flexible. I can reach everywhere I need to reach. But to pee in a cup, it's still awkward. Like, it's awkward anyway to pee in a cup, because it's like not a natural thing to do. But even for somebody that has no excess body fat in the way, and that has very good mobility and flexibility, it's still an awkward thing to do, to pee in a cup. So I reckon she must have peed in like one of those bed pan things, or like, is it called a catheter? A catheter is that where you stick inside you? But something, she must have peed in something else that's bigger and poured it into the cup. That's what I think. I don't think for a second that she held it underneath her. It's impossible. Like, literally, her arms are too short and her belly fat is too big. She can't reach from behind and she can't reach from the front. So there's no way. She must have peed in something else for it to then be poured into the cup. I just don't see how else it would have worked, logistically speaking. Or she, I don't know. Maybe.
No, she might be able to reach, but she definitely is not going to be able to have a visual. She's not going to be able to see anything down there. I mean, you don't have to have much body fat at all for it to be difficult to see your parts down there. You could just be slightly overweight and have a little bit of belly and struggle with it. Yeah.
Maybe she put it on the floor and squatted and hope she aimed it right into it.
Okay,
no.
You're getting, you know what?
No, I don't believe that.
You're getting way too into this subject. Move on.
I'm going to go for the she peed in something bigger and poured it into the cup. Yeah, that's what I think.
Hi guys, welcome back to another video. So this video is going to be my experience at the doctor's.
I like how she's wearing yesterday's makeup. You can tell she hasn't even bothered like washing her face or anything. She's just like still with, I have to be really, really tired or really, really drunk to go to bed without taking my makeup off. And normally speaking, even if I'm drunk, I still try to at least micellar water some of it off. But, it's food beauty, innit? I don't think she would use a Shiwi, because for a Shiwi, you still need to be able to reach. Like, she literally, she has 3 stomachs. If you look at her anatomy, her stomach fat literally comes down to pretty much her knees almost. So even with a Shiwi, unless she lifts up, like, I just logistically, I don't think it's possible. And I know that's maybe like a weird topic, but that's the reality of it, right? That's the reality of being super morbidly obese. It's like you can't reach properly. You can't clean yourself properly. This is why people that are on my 600 pounds life, yes, have carers, have people that clean them, that wash them, that help them go to the toilet, because you can't reach certain areas. So I don't think she would use a Shiwi. I think she must have peed in something that's larger and then poured it into something that's smaller.
Oh my god.
This Salah hold the cup. Maybe. What's a Shiwi? A Shiwi is basically like, it's like a little device, but that helps women stand up peeing. So it's like a little cup thing. So you put it like here, and then it's basically creates like a little willy sort of thing.
Funnel.
So you put it around your fanny basically, and then it's like it's shaped in a certain way. And then when you can stand up and have a pee as a woman, basically. And they do it. They created it for I think they created it for festivals, because like toilets are always so disgusting. So it allows women to stand up and have a pee. Basically, that's a Shiwi. I've never used one, but that's basically what it is. Is it sanitary? A Shiwi, I don't know. Like, I guess you have to clean it afterwards and like disinfect it. But for Chantal, like, it doesn't matter sanitary. She self-admittedly doesn't wash herself ever. She drip dries, so like, what's the difference, eh?
Yeah, I think it does matter, because she's gonna have, if she's using a device like that, then she would have to clean it off, dry it, and put it back in a bag. It's not like she's gonna be carrying that around the doctor's office. Come on.
I said I was going.
Fanny
to
funnel.
get checked out. I wanted to have.
It is a fanny funnel.
What's it called? Is it HbA? Is it A1C? I'm gonna have my blood work results in this video for you coming soon. So I'll tell you my experience in detail, how it went, how much it cost here for healthcare, and then I'll show you my results. So we went pretty early in the day, and
well, that's kind of the time of day that you do your blood tests and your urine tests. You want to be fasted, and no, well, so early in the day, she wakes up whenever she wakes up, I guess. But yeah, normally it's one of those things that you do fasted to get the most accurate readings.
Now you can choose private healthcare. There's so many private healthcare hospitals, clinics here, and there's also some hospitals. I think like a couple hospitals or clinics that are just for Kuwaiti people, the Kuwaiti population, and then there's public sector.
Tessa's saying, when I worked in the hospital, we used things we called hats that you put between the toilet seats and the urine samples. I'm pretty sure that is what they used, because there's no way that she peed in a little tub. Impossible. It's physically impossible. So, Sleepy Jane, thank you for becoming a subscriber and welcome. Fanny Funnel should have been a name. I agree. Fanny Funnel it's a good name.
We prefer, nothing against the public sector hospitals, but we prefer to go private and just pay the money. Like, when you go private, you pay out of pocket. Like, I might look into, because the health insurance here covers the public sector, like the healthcare you get here as an expat, but the level of healthcare is just different in a private.
She's not an expat though, is she?
Right.
Isn't she here on a visitor visa? Slightly different, isn't it?
Sector, and being from Canada, private healthcare is not something we really had access to. It was mostly public, so like hospitals and that. So yeah, so I went to a private clinic, and it ended up costing a total of 44 KD. I think 44, 47. I'll have to check.
That's for a urine test and a blood test, right? And a doctor's visit. It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not
Really,
bad.
that's not too bad for all of the testing that they've done.
I'll put the conversion here somewhere for you guys so you know how much that is roughly. Not too bad, for a blood test. And I'll tell you what else I got. So, okay, so we arrived there maybe around 11:30 a.m.
And that's early for her. 11 o'clock, that's half my day gone. For real. But 11 o'clock, that's not early. That's literally half the day gone for most normal people.
Yeah.
I had been fasting, and I get to the counter and I tell them.
Didn't she say in the video we watched yesterday when she was eating those paninis, not baguettes, those subs, that she was going to go to the doctor afterwards. So, was it fasted? Was it not? When did she go?
The lady, what I need to. I said I'm kind of dizzy because I was, and I've been testing my blood sugars and they've been really high. So she said, okay, well, we have a doctor here who specializes in diabetes and things like that, and it's the internal medicine doctor. So. The consultation with the doctor cost 7 KD, and then we went up to the level where the doctor was, and we were seen pretty much almost immediately. There was not really any wait at this clinic, which is really awesome, which I find is the case with private clinics. The wait is a lot less. So The doctor was really nice, really, really nice. And he had a nurse there, and I took my blood pressure. Now, this is something I find a little unbelievable because my blood pressure has never been this low. I was like, they used a really big cuff, and the doctor took my blood pressure, and it was like 110/82.
Okay, like, I need blood pressure. Hold on 2 seconds.
No, that's fine. That's within normal range. Perfect range is 120/80. I have to watch my blood pressure all the time.
I reckon she's bullshitting here. Let's get a chart up. Images. Alright, so share this tab. View the file. Let's get it bigger. So what did she say it was?
110/82.
110/80. Is that what she said? I'm sorry. So you were diagnosed several times. Hold on, let me share this tab. You were diagnosed several times with hypertension, but you have a more than healthy normal blood pressure reading. Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense, especially when your body is basically deteriorating, falling apart.
There are other reasons why her blood pressure might be dropping. First of all, is she taking medication for that? To regulate it. Second of all, is she lacking in nutrients like I am? I just went through a major health crisis with my potassium level dropping to a level of fatality. And that was making me bottom out. I was at 80/40, and I normally have high blood pressure. So you can't just make snap judgments based on how she scored today, because I have bottomed out and then just within a few minutes later had normal blood pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure your heart is pumping blood just fine, you know. I'm sure there's no problems there whatsoever. Doesn't she have an enlarged heart? Isn't that one of the problems? You want to come, Violet? Hey. Yeah, okay. A healthy blood pressure from all the sodiums, all the packets of noodles, all the fast food, all the takeout. We have a healthy blood pressure reading. Okay, I believe that. Sure.
I was like, what? Are you sure? So I almost felt like asking if he could take it again because that's really strange. Now, maybe because I was fasting, I don't know. But he said that's normal, so that's good. I'm not gonna be like, yeah, right. That was my reaction too. But who am I to argue with the doctor, right? So then he wanted, talked a bit about my background, my medical history. Told him about my operations, about all this and that. Just really nice doctor, really not rushing. Really seemed interested in talking to me about my history. Another thing I find that doctors tend to do more in a private clinic. I don't know, but yeah. So talk.
Yeah, I mean, normally speaking, when you pay for private, they're not on as tight a time schedule. When you have like the free health insurance, which it's never free. Like, I don't understand why people think that health insurance is free anywhere. It's not really free. I guess it's like you don't get turned away and you don't get charged, but people do pay for it by means of taxes. So nothing is ever really free. It's just if you don't pay taxes. If you don't pay taxes. You still get healthcare basically, but often these doctors are overworked and they are on very short limits in terms of time. I think with the NHS, when I used to live in the UK, I think they have 3 or 5 minutes to try and diagnose somebody because the turnaround is so high. Are you comfortable there?
Well, I live in America, and the specialist I go to only give me about 3 to 5 minutes either. And, there is no such thing as public health care except for small clinics. And pretty much any health care you want to get in America, you have to pay for, you have to have a health care plan for. And I don't get to see them any longer than you do.
Is that really comfortable for you like that, huh? Just laying like this on my lap. The most uncomfortable way you can lay, but okay, as long as you're happy. As long as you're happy, it's fine. So yeah, normally speaking, when you go private, it is cheaper. But I had a point and I forgot because my cat was being a cutie pie. Oh, let me just see what else she was saying.
To him for bid. Then he ordered some blood tests. So I won't insert the blood work here, the results of the test and that was requested in the results. I'm going to blur out private information, obviously, but here you go.
Oh.
So they didn't test for everything. They only tested for certain things.
I don't know. I can't see it. It's too
I
small.
don't really know what any of this means. But she didn't have a... sorry, sweetie, but your little nails are hurting me. They only tested for certain things, so she didn't have like a full, complete panel done, which makes sense, because obviously the more things you test, the more expensive it becomes. Alright, so... I don't know what any of these readings are, but it says here the reference ranges. So that's in a normal range. All of this is in a normal range. Normal. Normal to high. Yeah. Hello. This is high, the HGB, only just over the normal expected readings. I don't know what this is, but that's very high. This is also, everything in this particular range is all on the high side, isn't it? It's not like over the limit, but it's on the higher echelons. 253, but I don't know what any of it means though. It's just, I'm just looking at the reference range. Oh, is it playing? No, I'll pause it. So, I don't know what this is, but the average should be up to 8 to 10. Hers was, is this her blood sugar? Is this?
Doesn't it say?
Was it 23 point, hold on. So, is this reading here? This MMO reading here, well, but Violet, 8 to 10. Borderline. Yeah, that would make sense. So she had a reading of 20, she had an MMO reading of 23.9. Is that what it's saying? Is that basically what it's saying? It's so high that it's not even on this chart.
2 tickets, please.
General random blood sugar. Holy fuck. Is that what it stands for? General random blood sugar.
Looks
Wow.
pretty bad.
So this is higher than, this is even higher than she's ever had. And that's fasted? How the fuck can she have a blood sugar reading fasted that high? What did she do? Did she drink literally like a whole can of, or a whole jar of maple syrup the day before? Or
Well, those 2 big subs and all the chips were probably still digesting in her body.
before she went to bed? Her readings are not fasted. That's it. Like, I do not believe that that's a fasted reading. It's that, like, and if it is, then and it can't be. Like, it can't be. It's
Sure it can. Look at how big she is. Why do you think that's impossible? She could be spiking up much higher than this in the middle of the day. That's why some people who cover her are saying that she might stroke out right on live stream at some point.
like, it's above danger. It's so high. It's not even on this freaking chart. That's not she did not get these tests done fasted at all. Like, regardless, it's high. Like, regardless, fasted or non-fasted, but it's not fasted. Absolutely not. But that's absolute insanity. Wow. I think her blood sugar is syrup at this point. I cannot, like, I don't know. I can't imagine how she feels. Or how she's even, seriously, I don't understand how she's reading. It's because I'm reading it. I don't understand how she's, like, actually living. This is fucking insane. 23.9. I don't believe that's not fast. That's impossible to get that fasted. I just don't see how this, she had been eating before she went. Wow. And MALB 92. Okay, what does MALB stand for? Come on, chat. Is that Is that in here as well? 92. Hold on, I can probably find it. MALB blood test chart. Let's have some looking together.
What's that?
That's not what I'm looking for. It doesn't show. MALB is the protein in the urine. She is close to a kidney disease failure.
Oh.
High albumin means kidney damage. Wow.
Uh-oh.
MALB blood. That's actually insane. So if I share this, what is albumin? Albumin is a protein in your body uses for tissue growth and repair. But if your kidneys aren't quite working, albumin starts to leak into your urine. A micro albumin. I don't know why this word's so hard for me, but it is. We'll just go over it. Tests for small micro amounts of albumin in the urine. At levels small or regular, urine tests might find them. It can also be a sign of kidney disease. We have type 2, type 1. And let's see if it says. So at a random test, less than 30 micrograms. Clinical 3,000. Okay. 24-hour follow-up test. So basically, they're saying like under 30 is normal. Hers is 92. Wow, that's insane.
Wow.
And yet, hold on. And yet, do we believe this will inspire change? No, I don't think it will. How long until she loses a limb or goes into diabetic coma? I think this reading is a reason someone gave her low blood pressure, basically kidney failure. Does that sound right for anyone? It doesn't sound right if there is certain proteins leaking into your blood. This is insane. I have a feeling
Did they list the potassium level?
her case will appear in a chubby. Oh, I love chubby emu, but yeah, probably, yeah. She will be hospitalized with all these results in the also, especially with her non-compliance history. Yeah, but I think because she goes private, I don't think maybe they can't force her to hospitalize her. This is insane. Hold on, let's see if I can get some more information. Let's see if I can find somewhere that says a hi. I wanna see like somewhere that says hi. More than 300 understanding your results. More than 300 milligrams of protein is known as the microalbuminuria, and it indicates more advanced kidney disease. Wow. This is.
She may change her ways a little bit when she has to start passing kidney stones.
Really, like, it's actually kind of scary. And I don't understand how she's just so blasé about it. Let's have a look. See if there's anywhere. Okay, so kidney failure. This is not really, I think, what we're looking for. So I'm just trying to learn a little bit as we're going along here. I probably should have prepared, but I didn't. So there we are. Let's see if there's anything here. No. What do we have here? Oh, this is too that was a bit too medical for me to try to sit here and read. This is crazy. CM is a 39-year-old woman presented to the emergency room. Yeah, basically. Is it normal with diabetic though, isn't it? I don't know if it's normal for diabetics to even have a reading that high. I don't know. I really don't know. It's kidney proteins. Fit in water, yes. Thank you for the inspiration and the information. Thank you for having been a member for a month. I appreciate it. Chubby will be like presenting to the emergency room via truck trailer, where she has been in a diabetic coma for 2 weeks. So Brianna gifted 1 membership. Thank you so much. Who got a membership? Terry Lynn got a membership. Thank you for the gifting. And Terry Lynn, welcome to the memberships. I uploaded a members video yesterday, so you can go check it out. And there's live streams as well. You have to just go and check out the playlist, as I say. Chubby Emu. Chubby Emu is literally a medical doctor. And he does like these breakdowns of people that do like really weird things. Or not necessarily only weird, but for example, a man ate 1 kilo of licorice in a sitting, and this is what happened to his kidneys. This didn't happen, but for example, or a man got licked by his dog and ended up having to have his leg amputated. How did this happen? And he basically explains in medical terms what happened, what could have not necessarily prevented it, but like how it happened and the breakdown. It's a really interesting channel, but he's like a legit medical doctor, but he doesn't upload a lot. He does like not even once a week, I think, maybe like once a month. But it's really, really fascinating. It's like all kinds of scenarios where people just do sometimes really weird things. It's like, oh, this woman ate like 100 grams of salt, and this is what happened. Stuff like that, basically. My beau is a type 1 diabetic, and so much of her life is focused on his health. Diabetic care is expensive. She could just eat a balanced diet and do so much better. Yeah, especially being type 2. Type 2 is a lot more manageable than type 1. I mean, type 1 is also diabetic.
Yeah, you can actually, if you lose enough weight, you can actually get to the point where you're not diabetic anymore. You can't do that with type 1. With child onset, you are going to be injecting yourself with insulin for the rest of your life. But with type 2, if you manage a healthy body weight, you can get to the point where you're off the meds.
Manageable, but you have to you can die from it a lot more. And becoming hyperglycemic is hypo, I think, isn't it? It's like a very serious thing. Lady East Gas Station Sushi, what happened to her brain? I think I've seen that. Didn't she get worms in her brain or something like that, or some weird parasite? But yeah, it's really, really interesting. Chubby Emu, check him out for sure. 100%. So HBI. So this is also, again, something to do with her blood sugar levels, which are more than double of what's recommended. Wow. This is crazy. Absolutely insane. Am I playing a video? No, I'm not. Sorry, I thought I pushed the play button then.
I also had to do a urine sample, like pee in a little cup thing. And then we had to wait about an hour, and the results were in just shy of an hour. So we took them back to the doctor after going to the lab. It was all in the same clinic, which is nice. Took them back to the lab, to the doctor, who saw us right away, looked at the results. And actually, I forgot to mention, when I was doing the blood work, they picked my finger to take a blood test. It was 23 point something.
Perfect.
It's on the results. It was like 23, okay? So that's really high, 23 mmol. And so I'll try to...
How is she not more concerned about this? I don't understand. Like, for real. This is beyond high. There's dangerously high, and there's you should be fucking dead. Why is this not bothering you as much as what it is? I find it so fucking crazy, really. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand how she is just so nonchalant about this. Like, oh yeah, it was 23. Yeah, oh well, oopsie.
Convert that into MGDL for you. But the test results came back, and there was a couple of problems. Pancreas, liver, everything he said was fine. But the A1C was 10, so I think 10.1, so that's pretty high. I have to get that down. So they did diagnose.
Yeah, I should think you should try and get that down, the A1C. Let's see the A1C. A1C chart. Oh, English I can spell.
What is that?
So it's saying here, let's view this one, get an easier one going. 10. So yeah, it's high, really high. Oh, wrong one. Let's view this file, share this tab. I mean, 10 in general is just not good, is it? Oh, wow. I just don't understand how she is so nonchalant and blasé about it all. It's really bizarre to me. Like, I really don't understand it. I really don't understand how you can get such hardcore evidence that your body is literally being destroyed, that you are not willing to take it serious. It's like, when I talked about this before, I always thought that it'd be hard to get pregnant whilst you're doing bodybuilding and being lean. But I didn't realize until I went to the guy now, like a month or two ago, whenever it was. Time is a weird concept to me. Anyway, I got checked everything, right? I did all the internals and everything. And because I've been so low in body fat and because of the performance enhancers, I don't have periods. But I didn't think that would mean... I just thought that would mean like, oh, it'd be really difficult for me to get pregnant. But literally, I have no endometrial wall. So the doctor's like, for you right now, it's impossible to get pregnant. Even if you wanted to, it's completely impossible, which is fair enough. He did say, like, don't worry, the second you get more body fat and you come off performance enhancers, all of that will restore. And it always has. My period normally always comes back within 6 to 8 weeks after a competition. My coach also assured me the same thing. But I said to him, because I was talking to him today, I did my check-in with him, and he's like, when do you want to compete again? You're like, what's the plan? And I said, like, look, I really want to have my period back first and get tested and make sure that I'm fertile, even though I'm not in a relationship right now. I just want to make sure that I do have fertility. Because, well, if it is a case that I can't ever have kids, then, well, I mean, that changes everything, doesn't it? Like, I'd like to have kids. Obviously, I need to be in a relationship for that. But, like, I just want to make sure that I'm completely hormonally healthy and that I have restored from that perspective before I even consider competing again. Because I just want to make sure that I'm able to. And if I can't, well, then obviously then I've made decisions and these are the results of it. And those are the consequences that I have to live with. That's fine. But I just, like, to me, that was actually a shock. Even though I kind of knew it, I didn't realize it was, like, for real. I thought it'd just be difficult. But
I mean, why would you think that when, I mean, why would you think that you can be on performance enhancers and that you can have virtually no body fat, which is, I mean, you're doing it for performance, sure. You're doing it so that you have a lot of muscle, sure. But you're very close to the same problems that anorexics have. So why would you think that in this state you could get pregnant? So yeah, I mean, if you feel like you're doing some harm to your body, and you're basically going to have to make some decisions about your life goals. If you really want to have children, you might have to retire from this sport, because you can't have both. You can't. Just like Foodie Beauty can't have children either, because she's gone in the opposite direction. I think she said she doesn't have periods either, right? And most of the morbidly obese people I know have lost their periods decades ago and lost the ability to have children because they weren't taking care of their bodies. You really have to be within that healthy range in order to carry a child. Your body's just not going to do it.
I've said to my coach, it's like, I just don't even want to think about competing until I get my period back. And like that for me right now is a bigger priority. It's like competing is all fun and games, but I actually, in a perfect world, I would like to eventually have children. I don't know if it's going to happen for me. I'm getting old, but who knows? There is still time. And that is a bigger priority than a pro card. So, but obviously, if I can't have kids, I can't have kids, and then that's it. You know, the damage has been done, and that's a consequence I have to live with. But I just from the perspective of like medical situations, like that's like I just don't understand how she can sit here and be so like just like it's not like disconnected from it. It's really weird. She literally has such a ability to just blind herself, not blind herself, but to create like a world that doesn't exist. It's really strange. I find it really strange. Am I back in the UK? I'm not back in the UK. No, I'm not back in the UK. I don't think I'll be going to the UK. Forget that damn pro card. I mean, like, if at the end of the day, if it's a case that I can't get pregnant and like I have incurred damage because of bodybuilding, then that's it's going to be a hard pill to swallow. But also those are the risks that I've taken. But then I'm trust me, then I will be blasting gear as well. So I'm not gonna be as cautious with my health. Doesn't mean I'm going to take tren or testosterone, but I'm sure shit going to take some off-season cycles because fuck it, it's like, I might as well then really try properly, but I just want to, for now, that's more important for me.
He knows me with diabetes, officially, even though I knew because my blood sugar levels were so high. And then there's this thing here, it's like MALB, M-A-L-B, which is something in the urine. Apparently the normal range is like
I turned 37 a couple of weeks ago, so disassociation, yeah, that's probably what it is, just not wanting to accept the reality. Yes, I saw your Instagram, you have a Swedish flag there. I'm Swedish myself, so I'm curious why. Min morsa är svensk och jag har bott i Sverige för 3,5 år. Men min svenska är inte bra längre. Jag talar nästan aldrig svenska.
Even with the like, set that aside, the performance enhancers, the bodybuilding, the lack of body fat, you waited until you're 37, you're already in a position where you might not be able to have kids. Because basically, at least in the States, they start doing the amniocentesis test at age 35. That's the giant needle that they insert in your belly button to test the fluid of the amniotic sac to see if your child has Down syndrome. Because the older you get, the more likely you are to have a problematic pregnancy, if you can even get pregnant at all. And waiting till 37 is really too long. So if you do want to have children, you better jump on that like right now. And if you don't have a significant other, maybe look at like artificial insemination or something. But like, seriously, you need to get this shit done.
Förutom när jag är i Sverige, då talar jag svenska, men min svenska är inte så bra längre. Men jag är svensk, eller min morsa är svensk, en mijn vader is Nederlands. Dus ik ben Nederlands, jag är svensk, but English is probably my best language. Oh my god, look at me, trilingual queen, so amazing. Can you imagine that? A foreigner having lived in foreign countries, speaking different languages.
0 to 20, but mine was like 92. So this, he said, had to do with something being
I had no language, and now I speak 3 languages.
in the urine.
Actually, I speak more languages. It just takes me a while. I speak a bit of French, a bit of German. I speak a bit of Bulgarian, but it all gets jumbled up in my head. If I go to France for a few days, I speak pretty good French. I understand it, I can read it, but yeah. It's just one of those things that if I think about it now, my brain gets really confused. But if I'm in the country for a few days, I can. My English is great, but yeah, I lived in England for 18 years though. So, my English should be good.
To do with eating way too much salt. So, salt in certain foods. So, immediately after that, he told me to...
You guys are asking me a couple of questions. We'll go back to Chantal in a second. Do I have a double nationality? No. I will always stay Dutch because Dutch is one of the Netherlands passports is one of the best passports to have. My first language is Dutch. I am Dutch. I lived in Holland for the first 15 years of my life. Then I moved to Sweden. Then I lived in the UK. And now I live in Bulgaria. So, not the coconut oil reference. Sprechen wir heute Deutsch? Een klein beetje. I understand it more than I can speak it. But yes, a little. I can speak it. I understand it a little.
Urine that has to do with eating way too much salt. So salt in certain foods. So immediately after that, he told me to eliminate certain foods. And you guys are going to be keto people, are going to be keto lovers are not going to want to believe this, but this doctor told me to not eat any eggs, red meat, cut that out. Eat mostly fish, chicken, and vegetarian. Like, mostly vegetables, like this much.
I think when he says vegetarian, he probably doesn't mean cheese and butter.
I think he also meant for her to put her hands a little closer together. That looks like a large portion side of even vegetables. Maybe like this much. I don't think so, Chantal. Put them together. put those hands together, because that's too much. He probably told you to measure it out as like a cup of this, 3 ounces of protein. Like he probably gave you specific measurements, and you were totally exact. Like, you're like already on the wrong path if you think you can eat like a plate of broccoli that size and slap some butter on it, which you will do, right?
And the kind of like bread sandwiches and pitas and subways. When he means vegetarians, I imagine he means a lot of vegetables, a lot of like some fruits in moderation, and maybe stick it to like beans and pulses and stuff like that. Low glycemic, low carb, like not necessarily low carb, but carbs that don't spike the insulin so much. But obviously she has a lot of other health problems, so maybe this is why they recommend for her to stay away from the eggs and the red meats. But I'm sure that the vegetarian diet is specific.
Saying that she needs to stay away from eggs is an indicator that she might have a cholesterol problem too.
I'm pretty sure Subway sandwiches are not part of the vegetarian recommended diet.
Like this much he showed me with the hands, like this much vegetables on your plate, this much for your palm. So you do this thing with your palm, it shows you how much rice
Yeah.
you can eat. So this plus a half of this. So yeah, like
she's just like thinking in her head, what you're telling me a portion of rice is this much. That's like not a normal serving size. I normally have 5 hands like this. That's a portion. That's a portion of rice.
can eat that much rice, which I know you guys are gonna be like, what? It raises your glycemic index. I guess mixing it with the vegetables, which have a lot of fiber, kind of slow down the spike of sugar. I don't know, but what can I say? I went to a doctor and this is what he told me. Chicken, fish. He wants me to eat fish 3 times a week. Some chicken and vegetarian meals, like maybe beans, stuff like that. Because he doesn't believe in like something. He likes like lower fat food. So like,
I'm going to guess the recommendation for the lower fat food is because of the fact that she has no gallbladder and she's got like non-alcoholic fatty liver. I think that for that diet, you're supposed to eat more lower fat foods as well, right? So it's not like the problem with Chantal is like she's not only diabetic, she has like 20 other health problems. So to recommend a diet for her is going to be super hard. So yeah, I imagine like lean proteins, some small amount of healthy fats, and sticking to some healthy complex carbohydrates and a lot of fruits and vegetables is probably the only thing she can eat. But regardless, she will not stick to that. So it's all well and good to give these recommendations, but I guarantee tomorrow or even by now we already will have another mukbang of her, struggling and being real.
basically I have to eat very bland, he said, because like the salt level and things, I have to be very, very careful because this can lead to my kidneys were fine now, but this in your urine can lead to kidney problems down the line.
But the fact that she had so much of that protein in her blood surely that's an indication that her kidneys are not fine, right? Because that's normally what your kidneys do. They expel, like, you know, those kind of things, from what I understand, with my very limited medical knowledge, because I am not a doctor. I would imagine that her kidneys are not working very well at all if she has very high protein readings. Unless it doesn't come from the kidneys, that is possible, but I'm pretty sure it does.
Right, from eating way too much sodium, plus being diabetic can definitely damage your kidneys. So basically he just, I said, okay, what about, like, because I asked him at first, like, how should I be eating, for this? Because should I be eating keto, like very low carb? And he said, no, like really right away, like, no, don't do keto. It's very unhealthy. And
keto is not unhealthy. It depends on how you do keto. The way Chantal does keto, it is unhealthy. And for some people, it may not work because of their health problems. Long term, there's zero there. I think if it were for lifestyle, if you prefer to eat high fat, low carb, then do it. But it all depends on how you do it. You can be a vegan or a vegetarian and be unhealthy. It depends on what you're eating. If you're eating like nothing but fucking vegan sausages and like vegan cheeses, then yeah, you're not going to be very healthy because it's all processed. What she needs to do is focus on a whole foods diet, lean protein in whole foods, and healthy fats in very small amounts. So
I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, he's like, you can eat carbs, but limit them and make them like healthy carbs, like a whole grain. You can have one slice of whole grain toast a day kind of thing. Like something really good for breakfast would be whole grain toast with some beans or something. But fruit, I can have
whole grain toast with beans. I can't imagine that was told.
That sounds gross. That sounds gross. What do you say about like oatmeal and banana? What do you say about like malto meal? What do you say about like cornflakes and, some chopped up strawberries or something? As long as it's not too much. I had a friend who had a weight problem, and rather than use like your regular dinner bowl, your table bowl, she would pull out like a salad bowl, fill it with cereal. Like, you gotta look at your portion sizes, right?
That they tell her to have like carbs on carbs. I know they're low glycemic carbs, but a slice of toast with beans
That's great.
sounds like a bit weird for breakfast, to be honest.
very like a limited amount, maybe like one pear, half of a, whatever, an apple, but like wait a couple of days for my blood sugars to regulate. So because he's put me on medication, I'll get to that in a minute. So that's basically what happened. It was a pretty decent experience. Like, I felt well taken care of. It was affordable, in my opinion. I mean, kind of, and
You can't, that face, you can't put a price on health. You really can't. It's investing in your health is just worth it always. This is why I don't understand when people are like, oh, it's too expensive. People are like, oh, it's too expensive to go. I mean, for some people, it really is. I understand the cost of living is expensive. But the thing is that a lot of people, they will say like they don't have the time and it's too expensive to eat healthy and work out and do whatever. But then they have money for takeout. They have money for pizza. Pizza is takeout. They have money to go partying. They have money to go drinking. They have time to sit around and watch fucking Netflix series back to back. And it's kind of like, well, if you have time and money for all of these things, you have time and money for other things. It's just how you choose to prioritize it. Obviously do what you want to do, but don't, if you are somebody that has the time and the money to be going out for dinners, to be having takeout meals, to be buying fast food all the time, etc., 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 and sit around and watch TV, then don't fucking bitch about not having time and money to go to a gym or doing any other sport, or you can't afford to buy some chicken breast because it's too expensive. It's like, no, you're making a decision. You're choosing to not have chicken breasts because it's too expensive in your opinion, because you can have a McDonald's meal instead. But long term, what's going to be better for you? I'm not saying to only eat chicken breast, but I'm just being hyperbolic here. But it's literally, it's a choice people are making. There's 24 hours in a day. You sleep around 8 of them. You maybe do some work. There's plenty of time to do other things. It's just people prefer to sit down and watch Netflix all day long or all evening long, and that's fine. that's fine if that's what you want to do, but don't bitch about like not being healthy or not having a certain look to your physique that you would like to have if you're not putting the work in at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's about it, I guess. So I really have to really do this.
Like, look how she's looking. This is such a I have to do it, but she knows she ain't. She knows she ain't going to do it. She's saying this just to say it, but she knows for a fact she's not even going to stick to it for a day.
Oh, after my blood test and everything, he ordered a shot of insulin to try to bring the sugar down. And I went down to the nursing station and they picked my arm with an injection of insulin. I don't know how much, but I don't know.
Katie Hopkins, a strong passport. Basically, for example, Salah, he is Syrian. Certain passports means that you can't just travel anywhere. Even a Bulgarian passport it's not a good passport. You can't just travel to America on a Bulgarian passport. You have to undergo like various visa applications and stuff like that for most people. But certain passports are strong passports, and it basically means that you can travel pretty much to all countries in the world. Depending on where you're going, you don't need to like necessarily apply for visas and stuff like that. It's just like certain passports, they hold like power in the sense that it allows for a lot more travel. Compared to other passports, you just can't travel as freely. That's basically what that means. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if there's other benefits to it, but that's from what I understand at a very high level. Is what that means. The strongest passports have visa-free travel. Yeah, that's it. Basically, the visa thing.
Oh, I don't think it works because I took my blood in the evening. And I was like fasting for a few hours because I had some chicken and a few.
So she had a nap, basically.
Vegetables for lunch at around 1:30.
That's such a big fucking jar of hummus. Like, okay, hummus isn't bad, but like a serving of hummus is a tablespoon. That is literally a cup of hummus. That is so much fat. Yeah, okay, great. Yeah, chicken, good. Chicken, good. Having a half a cup of hummus on top of that is completely unnecessary. And let's be real, where's the pita? You're not dunking only the chicken in there. There was some pita that went in there as well.
Mm-hmm. So that's my lunch with a little bit of hummus, homemade hummus. And
it's probably even oilier than if it's homemade.
I didn't eat anything. And because he was like, I want you to be on like a regimen. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm like remembering tidbits of information and I'm really tired because it's late. But he's like, I want you to eat between 7 and 9 a.m. for breakfast, never skip breakfast, noon to, around 12 to 1 for lunch, and then dinner no later than 8 p.m. Like finish all your eating by 8 p.m. or so. And then
that means you're going to have to wake up in the morning, Chantel. I'll be real. Eating at 8 p.m. for me is still too late. I get sick in the middle of the night if I eat that late.
And don't eat again until the next day. So after my lunch, I just didn't. I slept for a while and didn't feel like, cooking.
Yeah, I'm not fucking surprised with a blood sugar reading of 400. Her life has to be literally eating and sleeping. And then eating again and sleeping again. There's no, I think this is how she's able to survive. Because she doesn't have to go out and do things. She doesn't have, Chantal has zero responsibilities. Her life is just to exist. And I think because she expands so little energy and she has so little, stress really, I think the fact that she eats and just passes out, I think this is why she's able to sustain. This is why she's able to live. Basically, because if she did anything that required any form of activity on a daily basis, more so than getting up and walking to the fridge and going for a piss, I reckon she would have keeled over by now. For real. Because I just don't think her body can cope. Her body is coping because she's sleeping all the time. It has to be.
Okay, anything, and now it's kind of too late, so I have to wait till the morning. So my blood sugar, when I tested it not long ago, maybe an hour ago, and it's maybe 11 at night, it was 239, the same. Now, insulin takes a while to work, right? I mean, it's not just one injection. I don't know. So maybe what I had for dinner, I don't know. For lunch, I'm not sure. But
did she really think that after one injection of insulin, suddenly she's in a healthy range? It doesn't work like that. You can't just take a pill or an injection once and just have like magical results like that. Imagine if it was only so easy. Jesus Christ.
Maybe my pancreas is just damaged and I'm eventually going to need to be on insulin. I don't know. I hope not. But I have to go back on Monday for a follow-up and I have to record my blood sugar.
It took me a week to get my potassium level back up to a healthy range after I was hospitalized. And I'm in much better shape than Chantel is. I mean, I just didn't know that I had a nutrient deficiency. But, yeah, the idea that she thinks she's going to get instant results is ridiculous. Oh, okay, everything's back to normal. I can eat, I can start binging again, right? Yeah, the hummus is a bad idea. I think that's what, like, garbanzo beans with olive oil all mashed up together. I think that's what it is, right? I mean, if you're gonna have a hummus dip, at the very least, Chantal, you should be telling us, I had 5 celery sticks that I dipped into a garbanzo dip, or, a hummus dip. That I also ate some broccoli that way, and I had some carrots. Like, where's the raw vegetables in this scenario? It's gross.
Before I go, he put me on, my medication's in the other room, but he put me on like something that's like sort of like metformin, but it's not. It's like a mix of diabetic.
Thank you for the super sticker. I can't say. I think it's a super sticker. Thank you, Jessica. I appreciate it. Oh,
drugs. It's tablets, and he put me on some kind of other pill that's gonna it's like a blood pressure pill, but it's like, he said, sort of just like a just in case kind of thing it's supposed to like help with the sodium level in my urine. I don't know how, but anyway. So that's that. That's pretty much, I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I don't think so. Pretty much my visit from start to finish at the private clinic here.
How much water did he tell you to drink? Because that would help with the sodium levels in your urine too, right? How much water did he tell you to drink, Chantal?
Usually when I would go for healthcare, I've been a couple times to the public sector clinic, and then I went to a private clinic.
47 are freaking fabulous. Thank you so much for the super sticker. I appreciate it. I can see the little foxy guy. I can see it here on my phone. I just can't. It just doesn't show on my StreamYard, unfortunately. At some point, I'm gonna have to look into doing streaming from from OBS. Sorry, I was looking at my cat because she's found something to play with and she's being really hyper. But I'm gonna have to look into doing the OBS setup at some point because it's better in it when you get the chat up and you can have backgrounds and stuff like that, and then you see all the super chats and everything a bit nicer.
And then we liked that a lot more. You're just in and out, you're just, I don't know, the level of care is just different. So now we chose to go to another private clinic, and yeah, that's about it. So
hey, Bish,
if you have any questions, I can try to answer them in the comments. But that's my experience with the healthcare in Kuwait, and this is definitely was not fun. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I got asked if I was pregnant there.
It's just not funny though, is it?
It's just
I'm sure they're not used to seeing a woman as big as her with such a massive stomach, so it's probably quite normal to get asked to be pregnant if she's pregnant.
I understand that because women my age and typically with a large belly, they probably are most of the time pregnant here. But whatever, I didn't take offense to that, and they were really nice. And but it's not fun being in another country, and I'm supposed to be living up my life, because
you've been supposed to live. You haven't lived your life in over a decade, and it's kind of sad because you're missing out on a lot of things. But again, she doesn't know any better, so she's saying all these words of I should be living my life, but her life is eating. All she cares about is food. All the memory she has is food. And maybe that is because she's always been obese, so she doesn't know what it's like to go and do things, to go on holiday and experience things and walk around and, you know, be active. I know they went to Thailand, but like they didn't really even do that much there, right? So I don't understand it because I've never been in that position, but I can understand that it's a foreign concept to her, but she's never lived a life. Living to eat is not a life. Don't get me wrong, food is nice. I fucking love food. Food is incredible. I love it. But to put yourself in a flesh prison, basically, that's what she's in. She's in a flesh prison for food. I mean, that's not life.
No.
I'm not getting any younger, and when I get too old, I won't be able to do any of these things. So I want to do things now. So
When you get too old, I'm not to be morbid, but I reckon at this rate, she's lucky to make it to 45 to 50. There's not many, not women, but people of her age. There's not many people that are this morbidly obese with such severe health problems that make it to the age of 45 or 50. There's a reason you don't see death fats over the age of 50, or very rarely. 60 and 70, you just don't. And there's a reason why after a certain age, the body just deteriorates, and that's the way it is. But, you know, I guess positive thinking, you know, let's live.
No, they'll take off a couple 100 pounds by amputating her legs at some point, because that's what happens next with adult diabetes. You start losing limbs.
To an old age. But, you know, if you want to live to an old age, you're going to have to start making changes, make them now, and be prepared that it's going to take you probably at least maybe 2 to 5 years of very hard work to get to a normal, and you will never be normal. You've done irreversible damage to the body, not to mention excess skin. Medication you're probably always going to be on. And granted, you can have a better quality of life and you can have a longer life, but a normal life is never going to happen.
I have to focus on my health journey.
She's right. Even when if Chantel loses this weight, the skin is going to be hanging off her body. And that's going to be problematic for her as well, because she's not going to be happy with her body image like that either. Having skin hanging off her arms, skin hanging off her belly and her back, off of her legs, hanging down over her knees and stuff. It's going to be really mentally hard for her to realize how much damage she did to herself, and have to face the consequences of, even if you do lose weight, you're still not going to look very good.
And has to happen. So inshallah, I'll be able to pull through. I think if I ate something really bad for me, I would feel so guilty and scared of what it's doing to my body.
Yeah, you won't. You literally won't. You've done nothing but eat shit food since your one healthy mukbang that you tried to do. You're not scared at all, not even in the slightest, because you will get hungry, you will get a craving. No, she won't get hungry. Chantal doesn't get hungry. Chantal gets cravings. She'll get a craving, and then she'll just give in, because that's what we do. We have a craving, and if we want something, we have it now, because that's more important.
Now that I've seen the doctor, because, you know, the salt and the urine thing and more organ damage. And my blood sugar, like, they were, like, alarmed at my blood sugar level. He's like, that's your blood sugar with fasting? And then I think of, like, this...
She's, like... I just find her attitude towards all of this so bizarre. I really don't understand it. Yes, Chantal, it's really abnormal. People are probably amazed by the fact that you're still alive, because you shouldn't be, based on all of those readings. Kasara Higgins became a member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. A video went up yesterday, so go and check it out. There's a dedicated playlist for members.
Sub I ate with all the salty processed meat on it. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I was doing, but anyway, that's about it. So that's my diagnosis, that's my experience, and I appreciate you guys listening to me on my journey.
Wow.
I don't want to hear people like berating the doctor I saw, because he's a doctor. You know, most people online are not. And I know he's gonna get a lot of backlash for telling me not to do keto, because people who are like,
I don't think anybody's saying that. I think people are having an issue with you not following the doctor recommendations and your attitude towards this, and just the whole, oh, it's whatever. People are not going to have an issue with the doctor, but I guess the doctor recommendations make sense. Because of all the health problems, there's not many dietary recommendations that can be made. And yeah, if you don't have a gallbladder, doing something like keto probably is not the best thing.
you know, like, well, I lost this much weight and I've never felt healthier, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm going to follow what this doctor says, and that's it. So, anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
Wow.
Alrighty.
I'm going to stop there because Chikara's kind of getting on my nerves with all the distractions about passports and languages and so on and so forth. Like, I just want to stick to the story. My apologies for all that, but like, I also don't want to directly click on any of these people's channels. I would rather give the click to Chikara than to Foodie Beauty directly. Same with Amberlyn Reed, same with Eugenia Cooney, right? So that's why I do it this way. But dang, girl, you better follow doctor's instructions. You're going to be dead soon.